you see the first episode of Chainsaw Man yesterday?
I did not see the first episode of Chainsaw Man yesterday.
I am disappointed.
I'm sorry. I had to watch this little show. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called Werewolf by Night.
I did. In fact,
I saw it yesterday.
Oh, you saw it yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Forgiven. Eddie, you are not forgiven because you had your chance. So I don't know. Okay, so weeks ago or like a month ago or something, I dedicated like the first bit of a show to tell Eddie that he should watch Chainsaw Man when it comes out because I read the manga. Jamie, you recommended me the manga to me like a lot.
Yes.
In fact, you made me download an app so I could read the manga, and I ended up loving it, and I got really hyped for the show, which started yesterday. So I convinced Eddie to watch it when it comes out, and the first episode came out yesterday, and now I feel like a doof because I'm the only one who watched it. So I'm just gonna leave it as homework for like everyone because Jesus.
In my defense,
Christ.
I didn't even know it was out. In my defense,
You're never gonna guess that this is what it's about, but it's about a dude who has a chainsaw for a head.
you know,
Yeah.
all I know is that I keep getting images on my Facebook about some girl with weird circular eyes, pink hair, and like a dog leash. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And now
Yeah,
I know.
for sure.
Now I know.
If it makes you feel better, context is like pretty scarce on that.
I think it's fine to watch this show with your wife, with you too, Chema.
Depends. How does Nikki deal with blood and gore?
It's not her favorite thing in the world, but I think she can tolerate it.
It's
Okay.
a cartoon.
It's a cartoon, but it feels real though. It's sad. I think Eddie will cry on the first episode.
Oh, let's hope.
You look, unless a dog is dying, I couldn't give a fuck. Or a Woody.
Oh, it's
Oh, buddy.
oh, buddy. Oh, you chose the wrong words.
Bullshit.
Oh.
Nah, you're gonna cry, man.
Yeah, you're gonna cry in the
Bullshit.
first episode, but
Ace
Okay,
ain't going
And
nowhere,
you're not even ready
motherfuckers.
for it.
yeah.
Ace
What?
ain't going nowhere, motherfuckers.
Okay, fine.
No, Ace is the name of my dog.
All right.
It's Dubs.
Okay, point is, I guess we'll do a Chainsaw Man episode after. Maybe after we'll let Eddie watch the first episode and see how he feels it, but then we'll see if we make like an episode when the season wraps up or like week by week. But we'll see. We'll keep it in your calendars, and if you don't,
weekly follow up on every Chainsaw Man episode.
How many Chainsaw Man
it would be
episodes
cool
are
because
there?
we could have a perspective on like someone who read the manga and someone who didn't. So we'll have both perspectives. Yeah. All right, but that is pretty spooky, but not as spooky as this month, and not as spooky as what we saw and that we're gonna review today. So let's
Right.
go.
Yeah, hello everybody. This is Jim, your favorite occasional co-host of The Rollback.
Roll back. Thank you for welcoming us into your headphones. My name is Chema.
I'm Eddie.
And this was Jim.
This reviewing Werewolf by Night. This is the rollback. There's no escaping the night. On a dark and somber night, a secret cable of monster hunters emerge from the shadows and gather at the foreboding Bloodstone Temple following the death of their leader. In a strange and macabre memorial to their leader's life, the attendees are thrust into a mysterious and deadly competition for a powerful relic, a hunt that will ultimately bring them face to face with a dangerous monster. So this is an interesting little thing that the MCU produced, because it's not a show and it's not a movie, but it's more of a little short, or they call it a special presentation. So
It's a showy.
yeah, it's a showy. It's not a thing that we're gonna get very often, and it stars Gael Garcia Bernal, It stars Laura Donnelly, Harry Handsome Harris, and a couple of other actors, and is directed by musical director Michael Giacchino, who apparently can now direct movies. He's been like the scorer for a lot of Marvel movies, like Doctor Strange, the new Spider-Man trilogy. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of stuff. So now he directs a short, and it's spooky. It's black and white. It's heavily inspired by like old Hollywood monsters, and it was pretty cool. About less than an hour long, in my opinion. And yeah, let's talk about it. So Eddie, what did you think of Werewolf by Night? Since it was your idea to review it.
I actually really love the fact that it was it felt like a throwback. I don't know about you guys, but it felt like a throwback. It felt like something. It felt like something that would come out in the 1930s, and I mean that in the best way possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like done like that on purpose. Like they want to evoke that feel of like an old black and white Hollywood monster, like even having like a werewolf being like the main character or main villain or main like thing that's present. So I thought it was interesting. Jim, what do you think?
Yeah, well, I think it was a really beautiful piece, actually, which is not something I was expecting, I would say. I saw a little bit of a trailer, actually, a while back. I didn't finish seeing it, but I thought, maybe I'll watch this one. I haven't been following Marvel stuff very closely as of late, but this one was a really pleasant surprise. And just like Eddie said, I think everything about this movie is done to pay tribute to older monster movies, because even the first Frankenstein film, for example, was only about an hour long. So it's not just the stylistic choice, but even the runtime and the beats of the story. It's all very retro in a very special way, I think.
Yeah, definitely. There's something there that, how do I explain it? I love when the MCU gets experimental because they don't do it very often. So I'm glad when something like this gets done. Like what I wrote on my Letterboxd review was that even if they don't do something like this again, or they don't reference these characters ever again, it was a neat little project to have in the larger MCU buffet. So that's why I liked it. I appreciated the length also, like the shortness, and did appreciate the fact that it was black and white and that every once in a while you could see like the screen cracking and things like that. Even the audio was not like perfectly mixed. So yeah, I think that was pretty neat. And I love Gael. I love Gael Garcia Bernal. So seeing him in a Marvel project was kind of like, oof. Really
I
special.
loved also the fact that the story. I don't know about you guys, but to me, it feels like something from. When I say it feels like something from the 30s, I don't just mean like the way it looks or the practical effects. I also mean like the way it was filmed, the way it was shot. There's a particular fight scene where it's very clear Elsa Bloodstone doesn't connect with a kick, but it's almost like it's made to look like those old movies where like they're very clearly miss each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's also a couple of scenes where you can clearly tell that there's a stunt doubles, particularly with Elsa's stepmother.
It had to be. It had to be.
And
With
I'm
Marvel,
pretty sure it was done on
come on, it
purpose
has
too.
to. But
Yeah.
But no, can we talk about the setup real quick and like some of the story, if that's cool with you guys?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So the setup is very straightforward. The leader has been I don't know if he was killed or died of old age, but the old man Bloodstone is gone, and now all worthy heirs have gathered in one location.
Right, and well, all these folks that are here together, right? Because they want this stone, pretty much every single one of them. Thing is, though, the movie starts off with some narration, right? Like we get this little background about how even though superheroes are kind of a recent phenomena in the Marvel universe, apparently monsters have always been around. We just didn't know about that. And they mentioned that the Bloodstone is an artifact with a power unlike any other artifact we've seen yet. But then when we see it, it has the same power as every stone we've seen in the Marvel universe so far, which is it gives whoever's holding it slight telekinesis. But still, though, maybe the setup with the MacGuffin is not that great. But the actual ambientation when these people get together and they start with a funeral, that feels really, really unique. Like you say, it's not super common, but it works really well.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, the whole the bloodstone being the tool everyone wants, the way that they get out of the situation. I mean, it. You're right. It is a MacGuffin, but it also, I think, it fits in this particular realm. Like, it fits in this particular situation. It doesn't feel like they just, like, jam something in there. It's the causality that gets them all together.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like in something like this, the story to me at least was kind of secondary. Like I was there mostly for the spectacle, for the black and white, for the mood, for the lighting. Like the story was always gonna be second place for me in this. But there were a few details that I like were kind of not explained but like alluded to. Like I love how the introduction to Jack. Like I love how the first thing that they call him out on is like, oh, I like the makeup that he's wearing. He looks like a Catrín. Like he looks like like an old timey like Mexican mariachi or something. Like he looks like something
Right.
out of that realm. And I don't know how much he had to do with that, but I appreciate it. I like the makeup, and it was kind of subtle. Like it really looked nice. Even on the black and white, it got to like pop out a bit. So I like that. Another thing that I like was Man Thing. Like it's been a hot second since we've seen Man Thing do something, like be in something, and it was kind of neat. I had no idea that he was gonna be in this. And
Me either.
when he showed up, I awed, if that makes sense. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but I love Man Thing.
Yeah, that super makes sense to me.
This-
Yeah, I saw him. I got really excited. I was like, "What?"
and he looked neat. Like there was something so cool about seeing him in a big project. I will admit,
Yeah.
it did took me out a bit because the CGI when he first popped out from the trees is not perfect. And even for a project
Right.
like this, I feel like if they wanted to go all out, it should have been like a practical model. Like even like if you're just gonna show like a little bit of his face, just make a mask. Like just show that and give it some movement. It looked. I didn't love how it looked, but then at the end when they're sitting next to each other and they're discussing like food and coffee and everything, he looked amazing. Like right there when they're sitting there, that's when he looked, I think, the best.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not sure why that was because in some scenes you can barely tell that it's CGI, honestly. And if they were gonna do it in black and white, they should really have leaned into that since they weren't spending as much money in color texturing. But still, in some of the more actiony scenes, you can tell very clearly. But in that scene you're describing, it's like almost like he's really there, right? Which is also a little weird because it's the one time we see him in color. But I guess maybe that helps a little bit, actually. But I actually thought he was pretty adorable. I really liked the design of the face and the emotions that he shows. It looked like a sweet little elephant to me.
Yeah. Oh god, like now I want like a plushie of him or something. Like I love how he ended up looking, and I'm so glad that like he exists. Like in a way, he exists now. So like I said, I don't know if they're gonna plan on reusing him, but he looked great. And also like another practical effect is just the werewolf. Like the werewolf when he comes out at the end, you can tell it's a guy in a suit, and I loved it. I love that they did something like that, and I love that they kept him in the shadows. You know, it helped build up that mystique. So I liked it because of that.
Yeah, no, the whole thing, it kind of felt practical, if that makes sense, in the best way. Like the maze and all that, I feel like maybe I'm wrong and they did do it. They built like a massive set for these hunters to walk around and spar in and chase the monster and all that. Like they were very smart with the way they did all this. Some of the effects were somewhat terrifying though. The first time we see Man Thing, I think he kills. No, it wasn't the. Was it the Scottish guy? He like melts.
The big guy?
I think it was.
And like, did you all think that was incredibly painful? Because I
Yes.
thought so.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But he's not the guy who deserved it the most. No. No, that was the other one. But we'll get to her in a sec.
The mom?
Yeah. But yeah, so it comes out that Jack Russell, he's here kind of on a rescue mission to save Ted. Man-thing Ted.
I love that they call him Ted, too.
Is there a reason why they call him Ted? Like, is that, like, canon?
That's his name in the comics, yeah.
Oh my god, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's Theodore or something, but he's, a guy.
I kind of want to know the reason for it now. Damn. But yeah, so he's here on a secret mission to save Ted. Him and Elsa form an unlikely alliance. To one of my favorite scenes in the goddamn special, when she climbs up and says, you know, how her aunt was crazy and always thought she'd come back to life, so she had a contingency plan to get out, and she breaks open the coffin and finds spare keys. I love that. It's so stupid, but I love it.
And it's like a thing that you accept in a special like this. Like it would make sense. Like this family is clearly kooky. Like they're out of it. So yeah, they would do something like that.
They're what we would call in the modern world eccentric.
No, eccentric is when you have money.
I think they had money.
Yeah, they look pretty rich, man. I can't think of many people that have a big backyard maze.
I was a little puzzled about that because, at the beginning of the movie, we don't really get a lot of clues as to when this is happening. And if we ever got, like, a little tagline or something on the screen that said, like, 1964 or something like that, I didn't see it. But near the end, the mom shows up with military personnel, and they look to be in pretty modern attire. Right, so, what I thought about at that point was, like, okay, these guys clearly have money, and also maybe this is happening, like, right now?
Yeah, it would make sense, like, because that's also what I was thinking, like, when does this take place exactly? Because, like, you could say this takes place in the 20s, but then also, like, yeah, that specifically. I don't know. I'm deciding to believe that it takes place now, just in case they can reuse the characters, because I want to see them again.
Right. Well, about that, I mean, we knew that Marvel was supposed to be moving into a magical phase this time around, you know, especially with some of the setup we got in Eternals with the Black Knight and Blade's voice at the end. And in the comics, Man-Thing especially is a character that's deeply entwined with the Blade mythos. But with the current state of the Blade situation, I don't know if we're gonna get to move into that anytime soon.
Yeah, did you saw that they delayed a bunch of the movies? Or not?
I didn't know it was a bunch. I knew the director for Blade quit, but I don't know what else is going on.
I had it saved somewhere here, I think. Give me one. Here we go. Blade got delayed from November 3rd, 2023 to September 6th, 2024.
Damn.
Deadpool 3 got delayed from September 6th, 2024 to November 8th, 2024. Fantastic Four got delayed from November 8th, 2024 to February 14th, 2025. And Secret Wars got delayed from November 7th, 2025 to May 1st, 2026.
Jesus, that's a lot of years of content.
That is a lot of years of content, and they better keep us fed during those few years, because if not, we will be hungry. And
do you think
the plates coming in from the DC world are not looking yummy? Talking about Black Adam.
Eat a dick, Chema.
It doesn't look good, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You I'm sorry. Like.
How is it the part that I come back is the part where you're all trash talking DC? Whoop de.
I remain positive. I do want to see Black Adam and think it's good. Like, I want to be.
I'd rather watch Black Adam than Aquaman 2, but like it's not a close race.
Yeah, I'm not excited for Aquaman 2 either.
Eat a dick. But I do want to say something real quick.
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen of the rollback, if you're listening to this, whether it's far in the future or this Saturday or any time in between, I have a message for you. I have a message for you from your spouse. If your spouse is coming home from work, make sure you actually unlock the deadbolt instead of accidentally forgetting and then they're locked out.
Oof, but dude.
Just a word of advice to all the stupids out there. I have been one of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you made Jimmy go oof but doof, and Jimmy only saves that for like.
I do feel bad for
Jimmy only
Nikki,
saves
yeah.
oof but doofs for like very dire situations. Yeah.
The real bad ones.
Yeah. Okay, wait. So this film. What did you all think as far as not film? I'm sorry, the special. What did you all think as far as like the elder wrinkly bloodstone, Verusa?
Burn the witch.
Yeah, I think that's
I'm
right.
gonna call her the hag. So, what did y'all think of the hag being like, no, all you monsters are bad people? Are we smelling an allegory there, or is it just pretty much whatever?
I don't think that they're going very like deep with this one in regards to social commentary. Like, I don't think the monsters are gonna be stand up for anything. In the way that mutants are for oppressed groups in the comics. I think it's really just a thing of like, what if monsters can be good? But still, I thought it was very interesting how they framed it with the way she phrases that what they are doing is a mercy for the monsters themselves. I think in a way maybe she does think that she is sort of helping these people who don't have control over themselves not to hurt others.
If this had been directed by Guillermo del Toro, then sure, but not this time. So I do think it's mostly just for the fun. So
Yeah.
I think they're just buddies. I think I think Jack and Ted are just buddies. And then
Gotcha. Yeah, just want to get y'all's opinions.
Yeah.
Want to know, that's all.
and I mean, it could be. There's a writer I really like who once said that books belong to their readers, and I think it goes the same with everything else. So, yeah, it is true. I think you can interpret what
That is
you
true.
get from that. But nah, fuck that hack. Fuck her. What a one-dimensional villain, but in a way that you kind of root when she gets dead. So that's pretty cool. The special was pretty like. What? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say her brutal death was
Yeah.
well deserved.
Also-
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, what did we think about the violence in this one?
It was violent. Like it was, and also like more cursing than I think I'm used to in like a Marvel project.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
that.
like-
that's right. Yeah, you're right. And the head slashes too.
Head slashes, blood. Like if you didn't tell me this was Marvel, I would not notice.
What if I told you it was DC?
I would not believe you because this is good.
Well, actually, in regards to that, we've been talking about how this project feels like an homage to a lot of things, right? I think in a way it is also a step in the right direction for Marvel because we know the success of the franchise hinges on the fact that they managed to get people interested in these initially minor characters from comic books, right? Because when the Marvel Studios started, they didn't have the rights for any of their big hitters. So they had to go ahead and turn Thor and Iron Man into icons through their own work, right? And then for a while after that, they were mostly relying on the fame of their bigger names, especially as they began to acquire some of their IPs back. And then with this arc, they've kind of been trying to recreate that magic a little bit of bringing in these lesser known characters and giving them new life. But that kind of feel like they've been missing it, especially with Eternals. We saw a lot of that, of these like unknown characters come into the scene, and I guess people really didn't have a lot of goodwill for those. But this time around, I feel like they really gave a whole new aura to Werewolf by Night, which to me, honestly, is kind of a meaningless character. Like, there's not a lot of comic book history for this guy. I really wasn't expecting anything that could be in any way special. but with just 1 hour of content, they made me feel really engaged with both Jack and Ted, and even Elsa Bloodstone in this one.
Yeah, like I said before, I think I'm really liking that they're getting experimental and that they're trying new things. It shows that even though they are like a big budget blockbuster machine, they don't fear, trying something new that differs from the formula. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come, because between this and things like She-Hulk, I'm liking a lot this aftertaste that we're getting of the MCU. I'm enjoying it.
How likely do you think are we to get a direct sequel to this?
Maybe not a direct sequel, maybe the characters will pop up in another project.
Maybe. Yeah, I think we might have a little bit of a sub-universe picking up with all these, like, more occult characters, yeah.
Yeah.
My God. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but just like, God damn. Like, a sub-universe in a universe within a smaller universe. I mean, I see it. I can see it. It's just like, God damn.
You know, that's kind of what animated DC did, because before they decided to reboot their animated universe, we had the mainline movies with all the big guys, Superman and whatnot, and then we had the Justice League Dark sub-universe with all the Constantine movies and all those more magic-oriented series.
But live action this time.
Live action this time.
You got schooled in your own universe, man.
Hey, man.
Amazing.
Hey, look, man. I'm not going to deny the animated universe, pretty boss. Not going to lie.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Oh.
No one will ever deny that, I think. I don't know. What else can we say about this project besides that it's a pretty cool thing that exists. It's like, I don't know. I liken to it like a really big band that just tries to do like a super raw album with like, I don't know, very limited resources or something.
Interesting take.
Yeah, like something like that. So that's how I feel about it. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. It did feel, pretty marbly in some sections. Like, there's a scene near the end where after killing the Barusa, Man-Thing kind of goes like, well, that happened, and it's like, fine, okay, you earned this one, I'll allow it. But other than that, it did do some pretty unique stuff. I really like that the werewolf design is very heavily classically inspired. Because honestly, I was expecting that it was just gonna be more of a feral-looking werewolf, with all this kind of werewolves that we see in more modern movies, where they just kind of more like a minotaur type of thing, a really furry humanoid body with a really canine head. But no, this was literally like something I could see in a classic horror movie with prosthetics and the very human face and the sparse hair all over. It was very well executed.
Yeah, I agree. Eddie, final thoughts?
I genuinely hope we get more of this very soon. I doubt we will, but I would like that. I would like it very much. No, goddamn Marvel. They've given me more characters to like and enjoy.
Yeah. Can't wait for the eventual, ton of Man-Thing pop Funko figures that we're gonna get and that are gonna, just die in a landfill somewhere.
Hey man, Funkos are getting fucking expensive.
Yeah.
I tried to buy a few from my office and goddamn.
I have a ton and I've kept them like in a box ever since I moved here because I just don't have a place to display them, so I just have them there.
You should maybe look into making some money off of that.
Yeah, I think I will. Alright. Well, I give Werewolf by Night a good 4 stars. Think that's a good position to have it. I really enjoyed it. I think I might watch it again before Halloween just to like get more in the mood. So yeah, I love it.
I give it a 1930 out of 10.
Damn.
That's a lot of teddies. Go ahead.
That's a very, very high rating. Um,
Eddie?
damn. B plus, A minus, somewhere in that league.
Or that league, yeah. That's
Reasonable.
high praise. Yeah. All right. So that is our review of Werewolf by Night from Marvel. It is available on Disney Plus, and those are our thoughts. Next, hopefully this weekend we're gonna do Halloween Ends. Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna do 2 separate reviews for Halloween Ends. It's gonna be a very interesting episode.
Are we?
Ooh, choose your own
It's gonna
adventure.
Ooh.
We're gonna have 2 different episodes for Halloween Ends, and this shit's gonna get interesting real quick. I can't wait.
That sounds killer. All right, I got my tickets already. Like I'm gonna see it on Friday, so yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait to see that. The end. I can't believe I remember watching the new Halloween and then watching Halloween Kills like in the middle of COVID, like trapped like from my bed, and then I'm gonna watch this one in theater on IMAX. So I don't know. It just feels weird that I've lived through this whole trilogy.
It's been right there with you.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's terrifying. I'm gonna turn on a light. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. My name was Chema.
Been Eddie.
This was Jim.
And this was The Rollback. Signing off with a reminder to watch Chainsaw Man because the first episode is already available. It's on Crunchyroll and Hulu. Go check it out, please. Please. Please.
It's on Hulu.
I'm pretty sure it's on Hulu. So, yeah. For some reason, all of anime is on Hulu. So, yeah.